Okay, so the top petals. Again, I'm going to cut out some ribbon out of the 7mm variegated. On the original piece, I actually used the darker pink in this very deep, rich pink through to a lolly pink colour. But this time I'm just going to cut the lolly pink colour out and stitch the top petals with that. Now, when you cut silk ribbon, you'll notice that it's cut at an angle. I always cut my ribbon at an angle. It will stop the ribbon from fraying. That's one downside that silk ribbon has. You can stop it from fraying. Again, a very small little knot has been tied in that, so we've got a very tiny little knot and virtually no ribbon beyond the knot. Now, I don't lock my ribbon onto a needle. I simply thread it into the needle. I know a lot of tutors, I'm very unusual in this factor. A lot of people do lock their ribbon on. I find it's more restricting. I find that if you lock the ribbon on, you can get far more restricted in how you actually can handle the ribbon and how much of the ribbon you can work. So I can actually work very short because I can thread the needle, pull it through, re-thread the needle, pull it through type of thing. It's very personal. You do what suits you. Okay, so now we're going to work from near the middle. I'm going to do the first stitch out to the right, out to my right, and I'm coming up in a new hole. Now for the ballerina arms, as she dances across the floor, you can work either in a straight stitch or a ribbon stitch. The bottom petals were worked in a straight stitch. This first top petal I'm going to work in a ribbon stitch. And I work with quite a loose tension, but I do like to bring a ribbon stitch into a point. Now I know not everybody likes to do that, but that's what I like to do. I like to bring a ribbon stitch into a point. Find a new hole. I'm working right, left, in the middle. That's sort of a fairly standard system. Left or right, it doesn't matter which one, but do the 2 outer stitches first and then do your middle one last. It helps with the perspective of the flower as well. Now you can see there that I've actually got that ribbon sort of sitting off the canvas. It's not sitting tight down to the canvas. And you can easily do this. Don't be afraid to handle the silk ribbon. You're in charge of it. The silk ribbon's not in charge of you. So when I go to do a ribbon stitch, if you put your fingers, and they need to be clean of course, but if you put your finger on top of that ribbon, as you go to pull the ribbon through, you're not going to lose your stitch. Wow, look at that. That's just what I wanted. Showing off, I know. But that's just what I wanted. Now to do the last of the top petals, what I'm going to do this time is actually work a straight stitch. If the ribbon comes up through the canvas and it's slightly twisted, don't worry about that. Just manipulate the ribbon with your fingers and or your needle and read what the ribbon is telling you to do. A lot of the learning factors with silk ribbon is learning what the silk ribbon will do. And so when I really studied this, I realized that I couldn't get the ribbon to roll over the other way. I was far better off to work with it the way it's come out of the canvas. And now I do have to share a hole, so I've got to do this very, very carefully. So lots of finger holding and manipulating. And yep, there it comes through. I've got that. It's going to come through and not ruin that left hand petal. So now I'm just going to hold on to that left hand petal as I just gently pull the ribbon through. And if it has a little curl and twist to it, all the better. We are stitching nature, we are stitching flowers, we are stitching petals that do have length to them and that do dance across the piece of fabric we're working on. Okay, so that's the top petals finished.